Would you do what you plan to do if you could not tell anyone about it? I heard this quote in Andrew Huberman's podcast with Tim Ferriss, and since then it has got me thinking a lot. I started thoroughly questioning my behavior and analyze it through this perspective. Surely I found out that there are things I do just to share, impress, or be acknowledged by others. At first it was difficult to accept, but it is true. Social approval is a huge driving force behind our actions. So today I invite you to explore this subject and find a way to recover our true reflection in this age of fake mirrors. We're social creatures, as Aristotle famously said, and it would be naive to deny our desire for validation from others, from our family, friends, or society in general. And I believe this urge is one of the reasons why we can coexist somewhat peacefully. Because even on a neurochemical level, our brains are wired in a way that punishes antisocial behavior and rewards cooperation. For example, the medial prefrontal cortex helps us understand other people's thoughts and feelings, like putting ourselves in their shoes. The amygdala detects emotions and helps us judge trustworthiness. My personal favorite is called ventral striatum, which processes social rewards, making us feel good when we are connected or are accepted by others. These regions work together to help us navigate social life, understand others, feel empathy, and build relationships. This social brain is what makes us truly social creatures. I was baffled by this, and I asked myself, is it even possible to depend less on those social rewards if our brain has so many ways of reinforcing this dependence? Of course it depends. For some, the social approval is the only possible motivating force, but others don't give much importance to it. But one thing is universally true. We humans are all susceptible to it. So what is the problem if those mechanisms support cooperation, pro-social behavior, and coexistence? Well, problems appear when it becomes the only thing that we care about, when we cannot differentiate what we want and what we think we want, forced by others' expectations. This is especially evident in villages like mine, a small community where everyone knows what you're up to, where people are so afraid of criticism, they choose to conform to the status quo. I know it from my experience. As I told you, I come from a very small village, and when I became a teacher, as if the entire world opened up to me. I was talking to people from 100 different countries, people with different philosophies, ideas, and experiences. And imagine, I did it for 10 hours straight. And as an open-minded person, I tried to understand all the opinions and all the different perspectives. And somehow, I forgot what I stand for. Maybe because I wanted to be liked and understood by all of them. Then after some time I was overwhelmed by this, as if I had lost my own voice. I was so confused. I can call it an identity crisis. I think Mike Tyson said it best. If you're a friend of everyone, you're an enemy to yourself. The idea is that if you conform and try to fit in desperately, you might risk losing your essence. And once this happens, your brain will start sabotaging you in all ways possible, because deep down we are all in search of ourselves. So I slowly started reassembling my values and questioned every belief I had. I discovered that it is impossible to become less reliant on the opinions of others without thorough self-analysis. So I had a long list of questions that I proposed myself about what I believe in and what are my core values. After I answered them, I felt at ease. Slowly, I learned how to share my honest opinion and respectfully disagree with my students without coming across as rude or rigid. This is why I found the question that I shared with you earlier so useful. It is one of those very few questions that helps you understand what you truly desire. I've used it since then quite a lot. A simple example would be when I paid $1,200 for a phone. I wanted to know for sure if I wasn't doing it just to keep up with the latest trends. So I asked myself, would I buy it if I could not tell anyone about it? And the answer was yes, because I was going to use it, and in fact I am using it for making this content. So it is important to be honest with yourself, but you cannot be honest with yourself if you do not know yourself. And knowing yourself is unimaginably difficult, but not impossible. As Carl Jung said, there are three versions of ourselves. The one we believe we are, the one others believe we are, and the one we truly are. If you don't know yourself, it is super easy to lose yourself in the opinions and the judgments of the crowd. I've always had this analogy of fake, distorted mirrors in my mind. Other people will always try to put those fake mirrors in front of us. The only thing we can do is to know ourselves enough so we don't believe the reflection that we see. Appearances have always mattered, but in today's world it's even worse. It is becoming extremely difficult to build a healthy self-esteem. We live in the era of likes, reposts, and constant comparison. It's crazy to think that some people travel to some places not for the experience, but just to share it on Instagram. I remember this case when I followed one of my students and I realized she didn't follow me back. And when I asked why, she said, "Because you have nothing interesting going on." That moment stuck with me, and when I started thinking about all this deeply, it reminded me of this Black Mirror episode called Nosedive. In this episode, humans live in a dystopian future where the only currency is other people's ratings. Everyone has a social score based on how others perceive them. Those with high score enjoy many social and financial benefits, while those with low scores are treated like outcasts. Of course, it's fiction, but trust me, we're closer to this reality more than ever before. Nowadays, it's different. We can chase approval online, and social media makes it super easy for us. So we will keep buying things that we don't need, we'll keep posting about things that we don't care about, all this just to impress and feel accepted. It's an incredibly difficult cycle to break free from, but if we don't try, we risk becoming superficial, shallow, and empty, living like distorted reflections shaped by those fake mirrors. Thanks for watching.